Hi, I'm Dr. Kenyn Cureton, and we're on a journey to discover lost episodes from American history. And we're here in front of General George Washington's headquarters by Valley Creek, and this creek empties into the Schuylkill River. Now, we've all heard fish stories, you know, about the big fish and the fish that got away. Well, today I'm going to tell you about the fish that saved the Continental Army. That's the subject of this lost episode. With the British troops now occupying Philadelphia, the Continental Army wearily trudged here into Valley Forge to set up their winter camp in December of 1777. Valley Forge has come to represent the price America was willing to pay for freedom. General George Washington chose Valley Forge as the site to quarter his army because it was only 15 miles from occupied Philadelphia and easily defensible. But Washington's army was in dreadful straits. Those who were able-bodied succeeded in building 700 makeshift huts in the first 4 weeks. But during those 4 weeks without shelter, they encountered some of the worst weather of the winter. The men were exhausted, they were hungry, they were freezing. Life in Valley Forge was grim. These men had long since given up the dream of meat for supper, a warm bed, and adequate clothing. Many of the men were starving and in their weakened condition caught colds. And the colds turned into pneumonia, and the pneumonia led to death. Washington was distressed and committed himself to fervent prayer, as is evidenced by several eyewitness reports where he was spotted off by himself in the woods, kneeling in the snow, his mouth moving, presumably praying to God for intervention. And God providentially provided. On February 24th, when the death rate reached 12 men a day, historian Harry Emerson Wilds records the account of this providential provision. He writes, "Then dramatically, the famine completely ended. Countless thousands of fat shad swimming up the Schuylkill to spawn filled the river. Soldiers thronged the riverbank. The cavalry was ordered into the riverbed. The horsemen rode upstream, noisily shouting and beating the water, driving the shad before them into nets spread across the Schuylkill. So thick were the shad that when the fish were cornered in the nets, a pole could not be thrust into the water without striking fish. The netting was continued day after day until the army was thoroughly stuffed with fish, and in addition, hundreds of barrels of shad were salted down for future use." One final footnote: shad normally run on the Schuylkill about a month later, not at the end of February, making this instance all the more amazing. In fact, according to the Journal of a British Soldier, we know that they found a way to prevent the shad from making it upstream to Valley Forge during the time of their normal migration in April. Wild saw this very early run of thousands of shad as miraculous. We see it as the fish that saved the Continental Army. Another lost episode in America's history.